call it speed boost.
Alright, so this is a Ryan that I think has the same story that a lot of players can relate with. They started on console and now have switched to PC and are maybe struggling to get the exact same rank that they had on console, or struggling with aim on PC, or just the differences, slight differences in the way the game is played. It's the same game, and so there's a lot of similarities, no doubt whatsoever. But there is some small differences. Just for example, like DPS on Grandmaster console is so different to me, because like I'll tell a Pharah that she can't take a certain position, but like she'll know that she can against people on a controller. And so I love seeing people that have switched and doing VOD reviews for that. First and foremost, there's been nothing to really review in this first minute. You guys sped on to point. Nothing else really to it at all. You guys did just fine. It's not a strategy that is normally employed in Plat, and so hopefully, if you continue doing stuff like that, it should help you climb out of Plat. And I didn't see right there. I want to see where you hit tab again.
That was a sad bubble.
Okay, so you are 6 stacking. So I'm happy with your communication so far, but I'm going to be curious to see if that keeps up. Because if you're 6 stacking, you do run the risk of the fact that you're going to go against other 6 stacks.
Okay, push left side. Push left side.
Right, if you want to charge in, Ryan, I'll give you nano.
Wait until he's like half and then give him nano.
Or I get a nice shatter or something like that.
Yeah.
I do understand where you guys are coming from, but charge can be a great time to nano too, because charge plus the nano does about 400 damage,
I'm asleep in the room.
and so it's pretty much a guaranteed kill on most heroes. But instead you see we kind of LOS'd Ariana, so she couldn't see us at all. For anyone that doesn't know what LOS means, that means you're out of your Ana's line of sight. And so when you go into this room now, your Ana is presumably just a tiny bit behind you, but she cannot see you at all. And so better way to do this is to go alright, so if you guys have already committed to this right side, we know our Ana is here. So real quick, what we do is we'll break down kind of where our Ana can see. She can see here, here, that's about what our Ana can see. So it's actually a fairly awkward sightline most of the time. But the point of it is, without doing some small rotations, but rotations to either like this corner or this corner, which has downsides, she can't see anywhere back here at all. Anywhere back here at all. Anywhere over here at all. Anywhere over here at all. Or anywhere down below at all. And so my first thing in my brain on Ryan is, okay, I can't go to any of those areas whatsoever. So now I'm thinking about my pathing. Okay, I'm not gonna go back here. I'm not gonna like hard turn onto this bridge here because I'm gonna line of sight my Ana. I need to fight out in the open. And you, it doesn't look like you thought that far ahead, because you did end up pretty heavily line of sighting your Ana, like right here. And even she says, oh, you guys got blocked off. And
I'm asleep in the room. This ain't pretty.
That's it. Even if you wouldn't have been slept or anything, you would have died simply because your Ana couldn't see you.
Smoke thing, what?
So let's watch for that, and let's hope that our Ana can see us from now on.
I don't know, I don't smoke.
No, that's what it's called.
What are you shielding right now?
Whatever. It's in.
Your shield has gone down by 1,000, and you haven't blocked anything yet that actually mattered. Your team was still coming, still respawning. The enemy team doesn't have a widow or anything like that. So now here you guys are, waiting 10 seconds, I think it's 12 seconds from 0, for your shield to go back to 2,000.
Yeah, she's gonna get ready. Get ready.
Keep in mind where your team is. So you've got Junkrat here, Widow here. That means at max you have 4 people here. And all I know for sure is that you're here, your Lucio's here because I can see his Aurora there, and your Ana's here because I just saw a shot fly past your head. But keep in mind where your team is, and think about what's going to be able to
He's
happen.
out. I'm getting pinned. Thank you for bubble there. No ults, no ults.
If you guys
They're
want to
using a
play
lot of
with
ults,
the
no ults.
Junkrat and the Widow kind of flanking on different sight lines, then
Sounds
you
good.
can't just butt your head against them, against the enemy
So they
team over and
used
over again.
what? May
Because if
ult,
they're going to have 6 people
Shatter.
all together,
May shatter.
your 4 is going to lose
Diva
most
bomb.
of the time.
Yeah, and nano.
Sweet.
I mean, what we can do is we can go main.
Okay,
but
here's your
let's
shield.
have
Try
Ryan
to jump down to me if you can.
charge in, right? And then let's bubble him and I'll nano him at the same time.
Anna, to your left.
Where? Huh?
Up top.
Again,
Shield
you're
down,
kind of
shield
shielding nothing, and your shield
what's
is
happening?
getting
Sorry.
really low. So that's a big bummer.
down. Shield's half.
And it's not that you're going to win or
Kill us right now.
lose
Oh, I missed my
generally
charge.
just based off of the amount of shield
Push it,
that you
push it.
have.
Push on port.
But
Yeah.
the fact that you guys are wasting time
Shatter.
waiting for your shield to restore, and that you can't block like all of Hanzo's shots for your team and stuff like that are really, it's really bad.
Pinned Zen away. Pinned Zen away.
Cool, stay on him. Nice.
I'm coming for Shatter to stall if needed.
What I would use my
I
shatter
got
here
leftovers, I got
is I
leftovers.
would see as soon as there's a ball or something like that. So if the enemy
Good
team
job.
comes out on a ball, on a doom,
Yeah, I did not
it's
do
an
anything there.
easy
Sorry.
shatter. No, you didn't, but you were holding your shield and allowing your team to do what they needed to do. So you didn't necessarily do anything wrong at the end.
I had to include
Definitely before then you were making some big mistakes
Who the
though.
hell is Bob and why you
And I
want
know
this?
that your title and stuff is about shot calling. If shot calling is your goal, you have not really shot called yet.
He's out there for a minute.
Who names their
I hit shift.
It wasn't his real
Wait,
name.
can
it was his
Reinhardt
name
get
in
up here?
Discord.
I know he can. Can I do it though?
Oh.
Nope. Okay.
Guys, my name's Bobby.
Bobby
Sounds like
Jones.
Keen Hill, yes.
They have a Reinhardt. Let's go smack him.
Why not just drop your shield right there? It's gonna take the 100 damage. It's the talk I've
They
had
have
to
a
have with
Reinhardt,
so
let's go
many
smack 'em.
Rhines, but just drop it real quick. Boom, drop. And throw it right back up. It'd be at 2,000 still.
Reinhardt, Baguette. They're going to try the same thing as us.
I
Okay.
got their Ryan.
Drop in, drop in, drop in.
Oh, man, I got fucking dove.
Diva's half.
Alright.
Good bubble, man. Oof.
Oh, I couldn't
I went too
keep you
far.
up.
Give me bubble, give me
So
bubble, give me
I
bubble.
get why you
That is-
charge there and try and get the kill,
Oh my god, they
but
just-
better to do is to let the enemy team get on point, and then you guys push
I
to
might
point
have
as
my
a
pin. I don't know.
full group.
Hey.
You have some cohesion, some teamwork, and you guys will have a lot better time actually walking onto the point properly and fighting properly. But if you guys have to do some fancy pin stuff and you have one person trying to contest and other people dying, you're gonna have a really bad time most of the time,
Yeah, that
like you just did.
Fair, I'm gonna pocket
Which
you.
way? Oh, are they trying main? Okay, they are.
Got brought down.
Shit, no, I'm gonna die from this Eva.
Swing on her. Diva's out mech.
Okay, so it's 6v2 right now.
Zen's down.
6v3.
Kill the Zarya.
Maybe I should stay.
Yeah.
No, I
Okay.
just thought Reaper was good. No, you didn't. I wasn't saying you're.
Not bad.
Yeah, no, I mean I was gonna switch.
Gotta communicate
Yeah,
with
you're
your
doing
team,
good, stay.
especially
You're doing bad,
if
swap.
it's your goal to be a shot caller. You especially need to
stay.
communicate with your team about like what alts you're gonna use and stuff like that. Your team did fine and did well, but like right here,
No, I played
if you could have hit like a nice shatter, maybe your team wouldn't have needed to use any alts. The entire team was lined
Why do you
up,
think
they
our
went
point
mid.
why hurt so much?
And so you guys gotta kind of talk and look at that, especially if your goal is to be a shot caller. You're not shot calling right now.
I almost had Bob again.
Why
Nice.
is it fun to like strategize and do this kind of stuff? Why is it?
Because we're competitive by nature and we want to destroy other people.
Oh, okay. That's
like
true.
Game
I'm
of
not, no,
War.
I'm not.
It's fight or flight reasoning.
It's like Game of Thrones.
It's fun though. It is fun. I like it.
Never seen. Carla?
Other
I
left
have-
side.
Left side, pushing hard. They got dead.
I'm gonna Send
Big
bomb.
stun. They're stalling out.
I don't know who I can
Slam
get.
dunk, slam dunk.
Just give it to
Oh, he slam dunk better.
It feels like you kind of forgot
Blocked as
about
much
the
as I can. I'm
game
sorry.
and about the fight that was going on and stuff like that, and
Reinhardt.
instead just kind of felt like you wanted to do damage, which is bad on Reinhardt. Because you charged into them, which, if they're on like a goats comp or like a pseudo goats comp, is not ideal. And then you kind of just kept swinging and
Good
stuff.
grab.
Didn't think about any ults that they had, any shatter that you needed to block, any shield that your team
got an
needed in
extra 20
general,
seconds though,
and instead you just totally focused on doing damage.
What happened to the?
So that's not solid.
I messed up my shield really bad there, I think.
I wasn't able to get in.
Because I was stunned, and then I came up and I turned just quick enough to keep my life alive, but I think I didn't have it in the right spot for you guys.
Basically, he was selfish.
Hey, I had to do a 180-degree turn. I didn't know how to do that.
Yeah, I can go Mercy. Titan, why don't you just ask me in freaking chat?
Because he's concentrating. Don't you know
Are you
this?
are you sexist? You don't want to talk to me? Fine.
No, that's not.
He's
it.
concentrating. You gotta
I don't wanna.
understand.
I don't wanna.
Do you
Wake up,
see
my
this
girlfriend.
pink golden gun? I will kill you. I will kill you.
McCree. Stay there. No, stay.
If you want to move over a little bit, I can heal you.
There's a trap. I found it.
For a little bit, I can heal you.
There's a trap. I found it.
I want to move over a little bit. I can heal you.
Okay, so first things first, and no one can ever be perfect, but you had to see the trap there.
Yeah,
It was on the floor right in front of you. It wasn't any sort of
Yeah, I
hidden
didn't
spot.
think that through.
And so do your best just to keep a little bit closer look when you know they have a Junkrat. You don't always need to be staring at the ground. He's like one of the only heroes that really matters.
Probably not.
But-
Let's back up.
Gotta take a little bit closer look. And then,
Oh, they're Anubis.
here's the thing.
Yeah, go, go, go.
You've had really bad shield management this whole time. And so maybe you know, or maybe you don't, that your shield management isn't good.
Where's my
So if
bar?
I know that my shield management
I'm
isn't
in a room
good,
scared.
I don't want to push in like small rooms like this
How do I
because
win?
I
How do I
assume
win?
that my shield management is going to be bad and they're going to win, especially against an Orisa. Like
Why
you
did
haven't
you
let your
space
shield get high enough yet that even though they're giving
Oh,
you the
let's do it
space,
right
your
now.
team is really struggling to push.
Anna's back. Next,
Second
shield
thing-
placement, I can shatter through it.
There
I'm asleep.
is please do your best to never ever ever let your shield fully break. Even if you just stop at like 10 shield left,
Big
it's
shatter, big
so
shatter.
important because even 10 shield can block the full
That's Anna.
Diva Bomb. And other abilities too, but that's just one of the best examples.
Super low. No.
Where's that Diva? Diva's above us.
This was harder for your team than it needed to be,
Lie to me.
and it was really just because of the bad
Don't
shield
worry about it.
management. So try and take a
You're going to
little
be
bit
able
of
to
a
get back by
closer
some
look at
cap.
that.
Mercy, come back.
I'm trying to.
Whoops.
Oh, I tried getting you some shield there.
Should wait a little bit.
Push right side again. Right side worked last time.
Hold on. No, let me just do this.
Yeah. Tell us when you're ready. Tell us when you're ready.
They know I'm here.
Okay, let's go.
I got junk busy.
Swing in. Good eat, or bubble. Spread out for tire, spread out for tire.
So you're calling
Tiger's
spread
on
out, but
Oh, Tiger's
all
on
three
flanks.
of you that
Go
were
on,
over there
go on.
spread out the same direction. So it's kind
Okay,
of
you
the
were in.
same
Nice.
thing as when
Pop up,
like
pop up, Reaper.
everyone calls like
I'm dead.
I'm trapped. Reaper, I'm
Hold
almost
on.
able to help you.
Both you healers are not there.
That is so worth it. Thank you. Reaper back up, Reaper back up.
okay, so you guys are kind of wasting ults now and kind of staggering now. So you
got
just need to
stunned.
hurry up and die.
Okay, we should fall back.
But
Don't
what I
worry.
was saying
You guys did good,
is
Reaper, thank you for that. Yeah,
saying
good
spread
ult.
out is the right call. But it's kind of the same thing as when you say like, oh, the enemy's area has grab, but then you guys don't play any differently around it.
But it got us more
Yes, you have
Yeah,
acknowledged
they did opposite.
what needs to happen, and yes, you have
I kinda-
acknowledged
I
what the
kinda
threat to you
just
guys
did
is, but you haven't actually acted against it at that
Let's
point.
push right side again.
So you're halfway to shot calling,
Shatter this time.
but you need to get that second half too. And you can say stuff like, I'll go to point, everyone else spread out. There you go, nice and
I think
easy.
there's a trap on the stairs, be careful.
Keep
If
going.
anyone else goes to point, that's not on you. So like you're pushing up
Oh,
on
I
them,
shattered
clearly
into the
going
shield.
for a shatter. So it was super obvious. With
Or
such
don't have
low
it, get
shield,
back.
so you couldn't even get as far as you needed. So I would have
30 seconds
really
left, 30 seconds
encouraged you not to do that. You could have just stayed on this kind of left side here. Right here. Let your shield get back up, threaten them with fire strike, threaten them with your allies that are behind you shooting. They don't have any, like, Orisa can't, like, easily push forward on you. And then if they do, guess what? That means she's not behind her shield, so you have a nice
Oh,
easy
I shattered
shatter.
into the shield.
Going loose here.
Look, we still have time. If we all...
Yeah, we gotta hurry. We gotta hurry.
I can touch.
Oh,
Go, Ana. Ana.
Oh, we need to go.
Yeah, I got touched. I got touched.
No, no. Go in there. Go in there, Reaper.
Oh,
Orisa's
I
half.
didn't know you were gonna do it.
I'm sorry. I just had to get someone.
Orisa's one. Orisa's one. Orisa's dead. Focus Anna. Focus Anna.
I'm sorry, Spirit. I didn't know you were gonna do that.
Nice. No tire. Good kill on him.
I'm sorry. I just had to do it.
Comms, 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 comms.
McCree's one. Oh, he's getting healed. My bad.
Why don't you just sit in front of the McCree so that it's only you that the High Noon kills, if anything?
I'm
There's a
dropping
lot of, like,
health back real quick.
great things like that you can
Back.
do, but if you and your team aren't planning, aren't communicating, then
We've
none
gone
of
to
it's
big.
gonna
We've gone to
happen.
be big. No.
And that's basically
I
what's
went
going
to
on
Anna.
right
Oh,
now.
I killed two.
You and your team kind of have an idea of what you want to do, you want to hit point, but you guys are having very little communication, which
No, I didn't warn you.
isn't
I just had to
okay
get
if you're going to be
No
six
worries.
stacking.
As soon as you did it,
That's
I was
just fine if you're not.
Just lack of communication is always fun.
I was.
No,
panicking. I
last
was like, I
seconds.
had to do
Yeah,
something.
last seconds you can't do much anyways. It just lack of communication makes it harder, and you can't communicate in the last couple seconds.
Do you want a Brig or a Lucio?
I think we should do Anna Zen.
Yeah, especially with they're gonna goats.
Yeah.
I don't play Zen. That's the one thing I don't play. I always die right away.
If they
Out.
the Reaper.
I'm gonna.
Too late.
Oh, all
Okay, back to point, back to point, back to point. Line no pin.
See, like, this was such a better way to do it. Give them a
Last
tick,
pin onto point.
maybe two, maybe three. Not three. Give them a tick, maybe two. And then before the third one, you guys walk on point together with a full push.
Are we going? No.
No.
No, let him have it.
Ghost is so strong just pushing into it. Probably should have health point instead.
Yeah. I'm behind them.
Sorry, I don't know how to counter that part there. My bad. Sergeant Ryan.
All purple.
How the hell did I get no one out of that pin? Zarya's down. Watch for Ryan, Shatter. Ryan should be one.
He got me. He's dead.
Yeah, I'm confused why you left the Rhine. He got 2 kills after that.
Ana, next time
So if he
you don't wanna
didn't
do
have
that.
Shatter, he certainly
I
does.
left him. I should have done that.
I'm so confused why you left just your low healer to kill him. Like, that was 100% on you there, and then if you guys get shattered here, that is also 100% on you.
Decide.
I was
Yeah,
just trying
back
to heal
left.
the break, and I'm just like, you know what? I'll do this. Whatever.
I'll have a translocator set over here,
I'll finish what break couldn't. I
but you
guess.
guys should be over here.
Anna, stay back left.
Over here. Back left,
I have
like.
grab.
I got a spawn door.
The Ryan has Shatter.
I have the empty gun right here. Don't use.
So if he has Shatter, why did you rotate the opposite direction
You
of your
ult.
team?
Nice.
Yeah.
I saved Shatter though.
Okay.
So we have support ults and Shatter.
gonna build EMP.
In a group like this, you gotta talk about the ults. That was a
Back left.
terrible
Here,
overuse of
check.
ults.
Over here? Over here?
Right here.
Yeah, right there's good.
They're
If they
coming
push
back.
left, you run
Back
to
left.
I think
us.
they're going right side. They're going our
Far
left
left.
side.
They're going to left.
Okay. Anna, rotate. Anna, rotate. Come to me. Come to me. Come to me.
And again, you keep talking about the shatter. You know it's coming, but you just charged away from your team.
Are you?
Oh, who I gave nano to.
And now you're charged away from your team, so now they're getting shattered and diva bombed.
Good. They wasted grav. They wasted grav.
Having
I'm
some
too low to really fight here.
serious
Oh, this is
issues with our charge
I was just
that is putting us
No,
in
that's cool.
terrible
Kept our Zarya
positions,
alive, you
and
built up
we're
grav
way
quick.
too focused on doing damage when we do our
Oh,
charge.
so-
Our team needs us to be their tank, be their shield, and
Okay, so
not
they
another
wasted grav.
DPS. If you just
Yeah.
charge into the
When they
enemy
push
and start
left, though, just
swinging,
rotate over, so
essentially
you're
you're
not
just a
like-
crappy
Yeah,
Doomfist.
You
Jen's
don't
gonna-
understand how that
Jen's gonna have
nano saved us there.
They have
Like,
a Reaper.
good thing you accidentally hit me because I needed it because for many reasons.
Zen's gonna
was
That
come
just
pin,
gonna
I
get whoever
counter
was
shattered, but then they were just gonna kill me anyways.
Zen's hacked.
Ryan stun, Ryan stun. I'm gonna die though. I'm stun locked.
Zen's hacked. I'm gonna EMP.
Nice. Focus Ryan. Focus Ryan. Then they were just gonna kill me anyways.
Zen's hacked.
Ryan stun. Ryan
Again,
stun.
like I don't understand why
Okay,
you're
I'm still
rotating the
locked.
opposite direction of your team.
I'm gonna
Makes it really difficult
Nice,
for them
focus
to
Ryan,
help
focus
you.
I'm reloading.
Good job, guys. Good win there.
No, the
Save
Zarya's
grav.
aiming.
Oh, she's not there anymore. Sorry, on point. Sorry, trying to back up.
He's hacked. So. Oh no. Here, we can kill him.
Oh, you guys back.
No,
Back up. They have two heroes there.
back up, back up, back up, back up, back up.
We let that
I have to
Zarya go.
grab
Dang it.
the next push.
Yeah. I'm almost
I
at
would wait,
shatter.
'cause we don't have anything to combo with unless.
Okay, they're gonna know I'm on
Ryan's
this.
hammer.
I almost have nano.
They know I'm gonna be right here, Zarya. So should I bubble me again? I'll try a little
Yep,
bit longer.
Left
side, left side.
You're going left.
Anna, be careful. George and Ryan. Ryan's one. Grab whenever.
I'm about to die.
Again with the charge. So again, we've just kind of left our team, which has
Get a
made
point, get a
us
point.
and our team on their own.
Big
You
shatter,
have
big
that
shatter.
exact same issue over and over again.
Can do it.
Which is okay because we can't like
shatter,
expect
big
it to
shatter.
be resolved
Oh, I don't think we can do it.
in like one game, but super unfortunate and definitely was done to yourself. And so like my top 3 there would be work on some shield management. There's tons of videos on that. I have other videos on that where I go very in depth on it, how to keep your shield higher than the other Ryan and stuff like that. And you'll start having a better time right away, because there was multiple times where you couldn't do what you wanted because your shield wasn't high enough, which is also on you. But if it was higher, you could have had like some great shatters or some good shielding on your team. And so definitely pay a little bit more attention to your shield management would be my first one for you. My second one for you is you gotta stop worrying about DPSing and charging into the enemy. You're getting to the point, I guarantee you actually what you did today, what I just watched, could climb you from bronze to plat. I don't think what you did today would ever take you above like low diamond. You have to start playing as a team and with your team in any sort of plat, diamond, master or grandmaster level. If you're not playing with your team, if you're not, making this into a team game, you're gonna have a really bad time. And so definitely focus on that. You'll start having a better time there. And then third, if shot calling is your goal, basically you got to start from the floor. And I wouldn't even be mentioning this otherwise, but you said you want to shot call, and there was very, very, very little shot calling. Tons of guides, tons of videos on how to shot call, but go read them, go watch them. Start with the essentials and then start working your way up. But basically don't keep any of the habits you have now. Start over, learn how to properly shot call, and if you want to be a shot caller, that'll be great for you.